We would like to call our capital improvement meeting for February 7th, 2019 to order. It is 1:16. The first item on the agenda is to discuss any changes with the evaluation criteria, or whichever way you want to go, Mr. Administrator.
Well, let's talk about that first. I think that Suzanne was sent home not feeling well. So a lot of stuff to get ready for this meeting I did myself, so it kind of took me away from getting your scorecard finalized. That's the cart before the horse anyway. You kind of need to be familiar with what's all is in these documents, and it'd be too soon to evaluate them anyway. I think we kind of need a meeting to distribute the information, a meeting for discussion and questions amongst the department heads and the committee, and then you do an evaluation. I know that kind of stretches it out a little bit, but frankly, there's so much information here. There's so many things that you want to ask about. So I'll distribute what I have. I already have my original, so I don't need anything back. Gene can take the copy, because that'll be enough for the members after. So there's the library. We have two renegades, Mr. Chairman, that I think you need to interact with. We have not received water and sewer yet.
Okay.
Okay, and we received a substandard response from the schools. They need to rank all their projects for all 3 years. If they're only gonna give us 3 years, but they really need to do a capital plan for 5 years. Now, those were the instructions, that's the exercise.
Okay.
The requirement of the town administrator and finance director, frankly, is a 5-year capital plan, so the schools don't get to pick and choose what instructions they want to follow or not. So I would ask them respectfully to comply with the exercise. It's to their benefit, frankly. This is, so those are the two I think you need to follow up with. Highway.
We all have our projects each year, but we're trying to look beyond
They
that, just
change.
like
I
the
mean,
budget.
You know, I'll tell you, comparing what you guys have filed for this year and what was on last year,
That's different.
it's different. Police, and then that's police part 1, so that's what the chief sent as using the forms. The chief has also requested consideration of an unmanned drone and the programmatic spending that goes along with that. There's a funding source that may make, conversation about town meeting irrelevant on this, but it's still a capital item, so it needs to come to you and be prioritized, because it would take away from other potentials. This is fire department. And because Tolstoy was busy, Adam took it upon himself to write War and Peace Part 2.
No, that's all. Yeah, a little bit.
I was wondering what he
Just a
was
little.
talking about.
Yeah. Oh, it's just me.
So if there are any outstanding departments, do they still have a chance to
Yeah,
get in under the wire? Okay.
yeah, so we need water and sewer, and just need this could make a quorum shaky.
Dover Fire Alarm for the on-duty EMS personnel. Respond to the primary school, 17 Gleason Court, room 9, 7-year-old having a seizure. Repeating, Dover Fire Alarm for the on-duty EMS personnel. 17 Gleason Court, primary school, room number 9, 7-year-old having a seizure. Send the code 13.
How many are in the station? Just 2?
Jerry was there before. Let me just give him a yell real quick.
They needed a driver last time.
Tower headquarters. Is Lieutenant Connell still there?
I believe so, yes.
All right, give us a yell if you need any help.
Yeah, if you look at that.
Yeah, because we'll put an envelope together for Ellie and for Caesar.
All right.
Where were we? What were we talking about?
Other departments, and they still
Yeah,
have
water
time to
sewer
get
still has
in.
time, schools have time to edit. Because we need everything all together before we can really dig in on it. And we will also, I don't want to interrupt your agenda.
Bruce, they want to have you here 1319. Just be advised, I don't have any updates. The caller is not with the patient at this time.
They took them a couple weeks ago and didn't need any extra help, so.
I'll give you a little bit of an update, Mr. Chairman, so I think it does go to the evaluation process. So it's a change or something that will be taken into consideration. We intend to participate in the competitive round of, so this would be round 2 of our Community Compact Green Communities activity this year.
Alarm 2, ambulance 1.
We've met already with ECI, which is the firm that
Is going to be on the side door where the parent pickup is. It's going to be the first room right at that door.
do all of the ratings of our buildings, because it's buildings that the energy efficiency projects address. And the proposal is to add to that list an assessment of the roof of this building. And the approach that we're taking is there's a significant energy efficiency component to this roof because it's perforated in so many places by a passive ducting system and defunct air conditioning units and other things that have happened over the years, access points, whatnot. That, and we're in a funny situation because the units are broken, we're not using them, so we don't score any energy savings by taking them out. But we kind of pushed back a little bit and said, yeah, but it's open, there's still air that circulates through that unit, and there's still a need to provide heat up there because we have pipes up there with water in them. So there was some thought that we could do that. But we would have to match from town meeting the rest of the cost. So they might be able to take away the old units and help us install anything that we replace them with. Probably going to be far fewer units and way more efficient. There's actually some conversation about micro splits, which would take that down to like 56 grand for a
Which-
whole floor.
They also did say with propane savings is huge,
Yeah.
because the micro splits wouldn't be on propane, we'd be able to get more propane.
So that's kind of a big deal. And then we would have to estimate the cost. We would remove the old gravel and tar roof and
Yeah.
the hodgepodge membrane that's above it and replace it with a proper membrane and all those perforations would be whatever process of, a little bit of quick framing and everything else would be done to close them up. So that's a pretty big initiative to try to get that through green communities. Because we kind of feel like it would be competitive, had a good chance of success. Failing that, Plan B is what is left on the list that wasn't done last year. We still have to have that funky conversation about on-the-bill financing and whatever the issues are there with municipal finance law, with the grid program, because we still do have fairly decent paybacks for new lighting at the high school and 3 of the 4 schools are using old forms of light fixtures, and we could benefit. So that would be sort of Plan B. So there's a thought there. The second grant opportunity is the Commonwealth of Massachusetts has benefited from a settlement between Volkswagen and the U.S. government over whoopsie-doody cheating on the
We don't
diesel
need that
emissions.
stuff. We don't need that.
And, it's a competitive grant. The deadline is March 18th. I think what we'll do is put in for almost like a 50-50 split for your 2 old international dumps. They're both diesel, correct?
Correct.
and you want to replace them with diesel.
Correct.
I think that to make the case that they're fully eligible, we'd have to leave off, the town would have to pay for the plow, if you're gonna replace the plow, and anything extra you were gonna add over the base, so any
But the
upcharge
cab and
for.
chassis is $100,000.
But the cab and chassis, we'd like to split with them 50/50, and according to their scoring system, if we match, we get more points. Actually have a better chance of winning the grant if we match. So we'll just, rather than go for one truck, let's do 50/50 and get two for the price of one, and be done with things that are 20-some odd years old.
Great.
Having said that, the 2001, I understand for you, that's the one you replaced all the kingpins, and
Correct.
so you could, there's
Well, I
nothing
have
that says
two-
you have to retire it.
I have two 2001s and one 1996.
Okay.
That 96 is the one I was looking at.
96 is the one that would be most important, and we can even say that in our grant application, this is
Yep.
the one we really want to get rid of, more than anything else. But diesel engines have come so far since that time, that's the point of this grant program, is to make up for Volkswagen's mistake, they're gonna pay for us to upgrade all the old emission vehicles.
Mhm.
And I can't imagine what this is in bigger states, but it's gotta be a lot of money,
Yeah.
probably in the billions, I think. So those are the two things that we're really, after we are gonna apply for culvert grant, right?
Right.
And we were just awarded yesterday confirmation of a small bridge grant, not to exceed 500,000. So there's quite a bit of activity already just with grants, and then we don't know what will happen with AFG. So
Tried to call down there, but they were on furlough. They're back now, but.
So in addition to the conversations we've already had about projects that haven't closed out, as well as legislative grant for an ambulance and the cannabis grow facility grant for an ambulance, don't be shocked by the number that is first published as this is what department has requested, because take chapter 90 out of that, and you take the grants out of that, and you start to see the budget might be more manageable.
And we gotta try to nail down DCR on Wallem Lake Fund too.
Yeah, I mean, I think really it is, I don't think we're gonna get another answer. With the last number they gave us is pretty much what we're looking at. Apparently last year was a slow year. I can't get anyone to prove to me where they said they were gonna give us $2 instead of $1 off the fee yet. Maybe it was trial ballooned by the commissioner when he was here, but I can't find it.
Maybe we need to yank him in again to a selectmen's meeting.
Well, he's supposed to come every year. We've let it slip a little bit because we tried to get answers. We did engage, but I don't want to embarrass him. We asked a whole bunch of questions for the second time in his 1 year. So I'd like him to at least have a chance to get some answers before he gets put in front of the cameras in Douglas, but time's a wasting. You know, we want to know about Ridge Trail, we want to know about
Right.
the fund, and we want to know about forest management. Because Rhode Island's always the last place to do anything responsible. And there they are out in the woods saying, we're gonna cull here, we're gonna cull there, we're
Mhm.
gonna clear cut here, because they're worried about forest fire. Well, it's the same bloody forest that comes up over the Burrillville line into Douglas, so don't tell me the conditions are radically different.
Right.
If they think what did they say in that report? 1 out of every 5
Yeah, maybe even less than that, yeah.
is dead.
Yep.
So it's concerning.
Sounds like the street.
It's bad, it's bad everywhere.
So that's kind of where we are in terms of grant opportunities. I know we're also talking about a pavement study. Now, is that with remaining Chapter 90 funds
It is,
for this year?
correct.
So, it's money very well spent. So that's the other part of this evaluation this year. This will be the last year we don't have a formal plan for road paving. So it'll go back to the highway superintendent, once he has his pavement study, to come back to the board of selectmen, acting as road commissioners to prioritize the projects, and that'll be the capital plan for roads going forward, at least with Chapter 90 funds.
Yep.
This year, the superintendent has requested a specific set of roads that you've already identified,
Mhm.
so this will be, last year, we do that without the benefit of the pavement study. think
So
that's all I
you're-
have for you. As far as, I also said I would have a draft of the plan. I am on page 15 or so of a document that'll probably end up being about 45 pages. It's really not in a position to be distributed yet.
Mhm.
But everybody's supplied a lot of information, so thank you to all. the
Plenty of
departments.
homework.
Yeah, so it's organizing it and putting it into a format, you know, we can't just quote verbatim from the Munson. I mean, that's a template, but it's gotta be all Douglas, all customized for Douglas. The only place where I'm, you know, typing indirectly what they had was whenever they cite a Massachusetts statute or a report that it's common knowledge to everybody or public domain. So it just made my life easier to just put it in, but I'll be citing the same thing. That's kind of where we are.
All right, so we're gonna hold off on any decisions on the evaluation process then until we get that from you.
Well, I think you were clear, as a committee, that you had a preference. So I'm gonna build the evaluation card according to what you told us to do.
Okay. So we'll hold off on any scheduling of any departments still.
No, I would say go ahead and do it.
Oh, really?
Because there's this whole process of just talking about what they have here. Building clearly is gonna take a long meeting.
Way to go, Adam.
I'll go first. You won't take long. Don't worry.
Yeah, I know, people have heard a lot of the same things,
Yeah.
but
I get you, yeah.
Could meet next Thursday, or do we wanna
I
do a
can't.
different day? Okay. Is there a different day we wanna do?
But, I mean, if everybody else can, but, yeah. Just for next Thursday, I just have something I have to do.
And the
I'm
27th, I think it is, I'm at a, 28th, I'm at a conference.
I think you do need to meet next week, and we can try to swing it.
Yeah.
Let me get my phone, so I'm not missing myself.
Patrice, did Patrice give you hers earlier? Or she turned the capital project in?
I haven't seen anything with trees on it at all.
Okay.
She gave it to Matt, I don't think she emailed it to him, I think she hand delivered it to him, so we should
Yeah.
double check that with him.
I know she, I don't have this folder, but I know she gave you something. That's different.
Not me.
It's me.
It's Adam.
Oh, where is
No?
that? Random. Probably keep my knee on the panic button.
So do we wanna try, instead of next Thursday, give Wednesday a shot?
I can do
And
that.
I can't do Wednesday.
And I can
I
do
have a-
Friday,
An appointment, and I think it's
Monday, Wednesday, Friday.
supposed to be a snowstorm Tuesday, Wednesday, so on top of it all.
Or we could do Friday morning,
That works.
Next week?
yeah, the 15th. We know Ellie can't do Thursday, so let's move it to Friday and take a chance on the fact that maybe,
I'm okay for.
Friday? What time?
wanna meet at 9? Is everyone okay with 9?
Yeah.
I'm good.
I'll go next week, next Friday. I'll be ready already. Adam
I
and
can
I.
go as well. So, what do you say, building and facilities, Adam? You can go first. Highway. And I'll get out of the way too, how's
Information.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, we'll see how far we get. Do we want to try to go out the week after as well?
Let's pencil it in and see what kind of attendance you get, I would say.
The week after, I have something at 11:15.
On what day?
On Friday, the 22nd. But if everybody else can, unless it's in the afternoon,
Tuesday, that will probably bind you up, that's a selectmen's meeting that day, right?
That's okay, because that's a long day. In other words, I get,
You want to try to meet early on Tuesday,
it would have to be early, I
The
have a
ninth?
meeting in the afternoon.
on the 19th?
Yeah.
what time?
Monday's a holiday.
Yeah.
So what time on Tuesday?
Shoot for 9,
Sure.
and that's the 19th, right? Tuesday, February 19th, 9 a.m. And let's do police.
So in the police discussion, I think I'm getting a request from the board of selectmen to not only put a station on the request, but a feasibility study for station options. To include this building, the old grammar school, and the new building.
Okay. So I'm gonna say police and
Well, I
library.
haven't even mentioned that to the chief yet, but we'll be adding that to the packet you have.
Okay. So on the 19th, I've got police and library.
Maybe the senior center too, I think.
Oh, yeah.
Oh.
senior.
Yeah,
And I
something
think
that's not
you're
here.
gonna get something from the town clerk as well. She just said this.
That was one of the reasons I asked, because I know those voting machines are,
Yeah.
not that we ever have any close elections or anything.
We want those new voting machines from Russia that only records your vote if you vote the right way.
Yeah.
Not that they'd ever interfere in an election or anything.
Of course not. Yeah, 'cause those aren't cheap.
No,
We don't want cheap.
You know, voting machines is something you might want to spend on the election.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. We've had some close elections around here lately.
I've been involved in a couple of recounts.
That's right.
Exactly. So,
How many are there? How many precincts?
3.
Does everybody put their ballot in the same machine?
no, 3
No,
different.
three different.
Be the
So
law.
police, highway, police, library, and
School?
Senior center.
Well, senior center or?
You said?
You have something from Patrice? You
I
have?
do.
Okay.
All right, so that's two.
I didn't distribute it because I think it was hard copy.
I'm gonna hold off on the school because
No.
they have more work to do.
Yeah, exactly, the school and the water sewer should hopefully be at the, I would say towards the end, and that way it gives them more time to,
Let's just say future meeting.
yeah.
So we got two out of the way, we'll get
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
School.
And we got library down.
And then
So
you
I
need
guess
town
that's-
clerk,
I think
right?
that's everybody, right?
The future issue on,
Water, sewer, and.
Yeah, we'll do that, take it off.
now that we don't have Maria.
All right, so do we have any old business?
Actually, I'm just gonna pass out a spreadsheet. This is through January 31st.
I was gonna do that under new business.
Okay.
I'm only
He's
kidding.
giving you a hard time.
But- It was old. It is old, come on. So I only put down the departments that responded.
What are you trying to say?
Nothing.
Yeah, that's fine.
And this will be updated. Again, this is gonna be updated at the end of every month. If they closed out, if they told me that the project is completely closed, then I did include that amount in the available balance to transfer. So right now, there's about 46,000 that's available.
Okay. get the rest of the people to respond and.
Yeah,
maybe
I
we'll go
won't
up.
do it at the end, until the end of February now, so that I have a full month in there.
Okay. All right, any new business? Motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Second.
Motion made by Shirley, seconded by John. To adjourn the meeting, any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
That meeting is adjourned at 2:42.